but we're back. Thank you so much for bearing with us.
Yeah, no problem. Was that on my end or was that you guys? Because
I'm pretty sure that was us. Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I wasn't sure if I should move my positioning, but I'm gonna go right back over here.
No, you're good. I love the burger poster in the background, by the way.
Thank you. So one of my passions, I'm a huge cheeseburger person. So this is like this super cool like print. Apparently this was done in real life, like stop motion photos. I don't know how real that is, but so my dad said it looks pretty real. So, but it was a gift. So
Pretty dope. I like it.
thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I do kind of want to dive back in, kind of pick up from where we left off. I think we were just talking about what was special about you playing the role of Andre Johnson Jr. in Blackish. You answered that a little bit for us. And then I wanted to kind of ask you about, you know, just your experience in the industry so far. You're still pretty young, but I mean, you've had a lot of experience so far. So just based on that, what would you go back and tell the younger version of yourself just beginning based off of what you know now? What kind of advice could you offer yourself?
Geez. Okay, so Marcus, before Blackish, I would go back and recommend, I would tell myself to keep pushing and like to continue to do what I was doing. 'Cause I feel like it's easy to get down on yourself and not believe that it'll ever happen for you. That's kind of the point that I was at right before I booked Blackish. I was like, I don't know if anything ever is going to result from this. It's just something that I like to do. But at the same time, I had like put so much time into it. Eventually, it started to feel like a waste of time. I was like, what is my reasoning for doing this? Like, I'm about to go to high school. I have a lot that I have to start doing for school. And then I don't know. I didn't know if it was right for me. I could tell myself to keep pushing, which luckily I did, but like to never give up and not to lose hope and to look towards the future. And then also to have confidence. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of confidence, you know, I don't want to boost it up too much, but you know, you're obviously an attractive young man. You're on a television network show. I mean, you have a lot of awesome things going for you. You're part of a few amazing organizations. You know, just based on that alone, what message do you have for young men, specifically young men, who are looking to follow in that same vein, who are looking to follow in your footsteps, perhaps become actors, or just break into the entertainment industry altogether? Just based off what you know so far, what's the best advice you can offer?
Man, it's really hard because I get this question a bit, like people asking me like how to do it, and it's kind of hard because with the with like Hollywood, quote unquote, like the movie industry, television, all that kind of stuff, there's no like one tried and true proven path. The best advice that I can give, it sounds like a broken record, but I'm telling you, you will be happy with whatever you do in life. Of course, I know you have to make ends meet and you have to make sure that you're putting food on the table, but you will be happiest in life if you're doing what you enjoy. And I feel like that's definitely, it's so true with acting, because like if you go into it with a falsehood or an ideology of like, I want the fame, I want the money, I want all of this, it's going to be hard to succeed. And there are so many times you're going to be told no. And the only thing that can really pick you out of that is first the people that you surround yourself with, so your friends and family, positive influences, but also your own passion, your own belief in what you're doing, and your own enjoyment. Because if you're like not having fun, then you're gonna be like, forget this stuff. But so making sure that you're doing what you enjoy and to continue to work on the craft. A lot of people try to go directly to the social game of the whole. Definitely a level to it. Trying to like get seen by managers and producers, but I feel like you will be seen if you keep on working on your craft and you become a better and better actor, because there's just so many avenues for us nowadays with Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, things like that. Yeah, and you can create your own things. So just to continue to work on the craft and get better and push yourself toward the top. I couldn't speak there for a second.
That is amazing advice. So I hope someone caught that and they can walk away with that tonight. That's really awesome advice, though. You do have to be passionate about the craft. You do have to continue to work on it. I think consistency is definitely key. It's definitely key, especially if you want to succeed in the type of industry that you're currently in. So
Exactly.
Great advice. So I want to know, is it hard for you having a normal social life, you know, being a young adult and being a celebrity at the same time? Or do you feel like you still make time for the normal things?
I feel like I'm pretty good at I'm a procrastinator, so I am pretty good at making time for social life. But yeah, it's definitely a balance because there's a lot of things outside of like, because when I'm not filming Blackish, that's when it's on the ground. You got to hit the ground running to make things happening. Of course, you want longevity in the industry. It's not shooting up immediately. It's like the goal is longevity and to continue and to make it a career. So producing and writing and things like that are definitely in the talks because, like I was saying earlier, there are so many avenues for us, for people of color, for women to create our own projects, which is, I feel like is extremely exciting. I've always been somebody who likes the creative process as well as the acting process. So, yeah, I'm good at procrastinating, throwing all that stuff to the side, having a good time. So I do have a social life.
Well, that's a good thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if procrastination is always great.
Funny, you have a good time, right? Yeah.
That's the most important thing. You know, if you're not having fun, then it's not even worth doing it.
Exactly.
That's the most important thing. So that being said, you kind of spoke about your father a little bit earlier. You mentioned him, and this is a question that I have for you because I know that you have a biracial background with an African American father, and your mother being a Caucasian woman, I believe.
No, she's mixed.
Or is it the other way around?
No, my mom is mixed. My dad is black.
So that being said, you know, Blackish is based off of the fact that, you know, you have the father who is black and then the mom who is mixed herself, exactly like your dynamic. So I'm just wondering, you know, with that being said, does that somehow add any more substance to the role for you?
I always grew up as just black. Like it was never really like a thing. So it was like, I don't really say like substance. It was just kind of like a trippy moment to like be in this position because it's like, oh, I guess this is my dynamic in real life. Crazy. But it really did feel like some of the talks and the kind of stories that we would tell would mirror real life, especially in earlier seasons. So yeah, it was kind of like this weird, like freaky, like we're in the Matrix type beat moment, you know?
Yeah. I can imagine that, but I'm sure, I'm pretty sure it was like the same thing. Like, wow, this is pretty much what it's like for me on a regular basis. So I think that's pretty cool. So I know that you're involved with a few charities, which, you know, just doing a little bit of research and finding that out, I thought that was pretty cool. I think it's always a great thing when, you know, you're a young adult and, shout out. When you're a young adult and you're using your, you know, your popularity, you know, for the greater good. So just knowing that you're in a few organizations is amazing, but there's one specifically I wanted you to kind of talk about a little bit and, you know, just shed a little bit more light on just for the folks that may not know about it or actually want to become a part of it, of helping, you know, and doing something. And that's the National Foster Youth Institute. So if you can talk a little bit about that and your passion for it, that would be awesome. Yeah,
National Foster Youth Institute. It's honestly, it's a crazy moment, like even being here. I recently joined the board over there at the National Foster Youth, which was life-changing experience, learning all about board management and what it's like to run a charity. It's crazy. There's so many levels to it that I'm still learning and trying to understand. But foster youth is never something that I thought that I would get involved with. Like I have no relation. Like I don't know anybody from the foster youth system. But I had to sit down in a chat with Representative Karen Bass, and she was telling me about the growing problem with foster youth in the United States, but specifically in Los Angeles, which is where I'm from. We have a huge homeless population, and a large majority of those are from the foster youth system. As soon as you turn 18, you're just like aged out of the system. The government kind of sends you on your way. They don't give you any sort of housing or job or school, and like how are you supposed to get those things without having your parents? And I kind of like I have my parents around me at all times, and they helped me to get to this point. And I couldn't imagine not having their advice, and their help and their love, let alone not being able to put myself through work or any of those sorts of things. So getting involved with the National Foster Youth Institute, and specifically they have an event called Shadow Day, which is one of the biggest events of the year organization, where a bunch of foster youth go up to DC, and we talk about, they get to talk to their local representatives, so like from wherever their district is, about the problems facing them in their communities and foster youth in general. So it's kind of cool because they're teaching young people how to take back the power, which is something that I'm very passionate about, is us taking control of what of our future. I mean, this world is going to be left to us, so it's our job to defend it. Being able to be given those tools is extremely, extremely important. That's what the National Foster Youth Institute does, as well as providing housing and food and things like that, but also giving people a voice. So.
Wow, Marcus, that's incredible. Honestly, I have to be honest, I wasn't too familiar with the National Youth Institute before. Again, just doing a little bit background before our interview, and I think the way that you just explained it, it's really moving, and it's amazing process to be a part of. So yeah. I think that, you know, maybe at the end we can shout them out, or, you know, when we repost this video, we can maybe post a link, because I think that more people need to know about that, because exactly. Like you said, once you're 18 years old and you're aged out, you're left with no resources, and that's not right. So at all. I think what you're doing is wonderful, to say the least.
In Corona right now, it's becoming increasingly difficult for foster youth to find housing, and government subsidized housing as well is just like kind of crumbling because of the fact that we had no infrastructure for this virus for people less privileged. So it's about finding the right way to educate people and to help youth find their voice and find their way in the world, specifically foster youth, because they're just not given the same tools and advantages that the rest of us are. So
I think that's absolutely wonderful what you're doing, again. And we're definitely going to post that link. We'll probably reach out to you for a little bit more information, and we're going to post that information because, like you said, the youth, they need resources, and it's all about taking back the power. And in order to do that, we have to have mental health. So everything that you're doing is wonderful. So we'll definitely post a link up. So Tracy Ellis Ross and Anthony Anderson, two of my favorite people, they play your TV mom and dad. So finding out that you were, you know, first of all, cast as in Blackish, and then finding out that your TV mom and dad are these like wonderful superstars. What was that like? What was that feeling for you?
Well, for a 14-year-old little kid, 13 years old, it was a mind-blowing experience. I'd been acting for a while at that point, honestly, it's like 7 years. And knowing that such powerful, huge, like worldly figures were going to be in this show, where it was like mind-blowing to me. I was so excited to work with everyone. And the ride has just been amazing. It's educated me on so many topics and things that I never thought that I would learn about, and things that I never thought I would see. And Tracy and Anthony and Lawrence and Jennifer are those who I have to thank, and I love them so much for showing me ropes and teaching me the ways, and just getting to sit back and watch them in comedic talents. I mean, Jennifer is just insane, multi-talented.
Oh my gosh.
My grandmother. So it's just it's nice to have people like that surrounding you and really showing you. I feel like they've kind of inspired me to be more philanthropic as well and give back to the community. Help people who look like me, because I feel like that's what it's all about. Is once you kind of climb the ladder, it's helping other people up and
I love that. That is awesome. And then you mentioned Jennifer Lewis. How could we not mention the mother of Black Hollywood? I think that's what she's known as. She is everything. Love Jennifer Lewis.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's so special that you get to work with such an awesome cast. And so you play, you know, Junior on the show. He's the big brother. He's, of course, quirky. He can be goofy. He's funny. Again, he's my favorite character. Thanks. I know that you have real life siblings. Are you anything like your siblings, the way you are with the siblings on the show in Blackish?
I feel like low-key Junior gives some pretty good advice that people kind of ignore because of the fact that he's so like zany and whatnot. And I'd like to say I give my sister some pretty good advice.
Yeah.
I say otherwise, but yeah, I feel like I have a pretty. Me and my sister we're pretty close in age, like 3.5 years apart. So we have more of like a homie relationship. You know what I mean? Like
I know.
you know, we see somebody on the street that we don't like, we're like, yeah, you know, look at this fool, you know what I'm saying? But we have, I would say not really, because I feel like Diane and Jack kind of bully Junior in a way, but
yeah, they give him a run for his money for sure.
Yeah, like our relationship's a little more mutual than that. Like we're in this together. So
that is awesome. So you've had some experience with voice work, which I think is so cool because I had no idea that you voiced Buck in Pixar's The Good Dinosaur, and I saw that movie and I loved that film. I mean, like I cried and everything. It was so good. And then to find out that you voiced him, oh my gosh, I was like, no way. That was such a cute little fun fact. And you also are doing some voice work, I believe, in an upcoming series that's hitting Netflix, and your voice is Bo.
Oh, Bo and Shira, yeah.
Shira and the Princess of Power.
Yes, we actually just finished the series. Our last season just launched, so that's been an amazing project to be a part of. Thank you so much for watching The Good Dinosaur. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That was such a cute movie. If you haven't seen The Good Dinosaur, I highly recommend. I know it's like a Pixar, children's movie, but you guys know how Pixar is.
Pixar really feels, yeah.
Yeah, Pixar, that's for everybody.
I love Pixar, so it was kind of crazy to get to be a part of one of their films. I was like, man, this is a dream come true.
I know, right? We grew up on Pixar, and you're part of it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So, what is it like voicing the character as opposed to playing the role yourself?
Yeah, it's a little different. I feel you kind of take elements of both. I feel like what's nice about voiceover, when I'm acting, I'm kind of like big with things, and voiceover, that's like a good thing. In acting, I feel like the subtleties are really what sell a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So in voiceover, I just get to be as big as I want, like yell at the top of my lungs and scream, roll up in my pajamas with coffee. So I'm just like, you just get to chill out and just scream, which is nice. And voiceover work, I've always been a huge fan of anime and like video games and things like that. So getting to voice like dope characters that are super strong, like Bo and Buck and things like that, and Smudge from another animated series I did on Netflix. But it's been pretty cool getting to like you go in the booth and you don't know what to expect from like the character that you're voicing, and to get to see the final product is pretty cool. Because I remember I used to grow up and watch a cartoon and be like, I want to be that character. Yeah. Now I am that character. Like it's
now you are. That is so awesome. Is this something that you think you can see yourself doing more of in the future?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I love voiceover work. I've been continuing to do projects and working with DreamWorks and other companies as well. So it's been fun, and I hope to continue to do it as well as acting. So
awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna look forward to it. You did a good job, and the few that I've kind of heard so far, but I'm definitely gonna look forward to it. You're an amazing voiceover actor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I know you have another movie that you just did. I think it's set to hit Netflix if it hasn't already. And it's called the F It List.
We'll say that. We'll keep it clean.
So if you could tell us a little bit more about what this film is about and the role that you play. Yeah.
The F It List is this movie about these kids who are they're just going through their normal school life, trying to get to college. And they've been on these strict schedules, SAT tutors, focusing on school 100%, trying to go for the A's, being successful athletes, things like that. Mm-hmm. But then when they get pushed too far and they do this one senior prank night and things go awry, the main character's all of his offers are revoked, like all of his school offers. And after that, they just say F it and make an F it list, which is basically all the things that you've like wanted to do. It's kind of like a bucket list, but you to too busy doing other things to do. So like, I don't know, like go steal an elephant from the zoo, things like that. But it's a really interesting, dope story that really allows you to take back your freedom and your control. And I feel like it's kind of a narrative that's positive for our generation. You know,
Yeah.
Gen Z out there, we fighting the good fight, doing good things in the world. So yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Sorry, I'm like an athlete, like cool guy in the movie. It was a lot of fun to film.
That's awesome. So, what's the number one thing on your effort list?
Number one thing on my effort list, IRL. It's hard. I don't know what. I feel like one of my favorite things ever is I've always wanted to go to Japan. I love Japanese culture, and one of my favorite cars is the R34 GTR, which like some of my petrol heads in the chat will know what that is. But they're illegal in the United States. But I want to say F it and just import one and like drive it on the streets and hopefully not get pulled over.
Okay, I mean I'll take that. That's definitely out there, so that belongs on it.
In front of the White House, so I don't know. It's something cool.
Yeah, something really cool. That's kind of random, but I'll take it. That definitely belongs on an effort list because that's what you do. When you're like, you know what, F it. Let's go for it.
F it. I like the hand movements you incorporated there. Yeah.
So, Marcus, what actor or even actress would you like to work with someday that you haven't already? Like, who's like that dream come true? Like, I've made it because I've started a film with.
Okay. I have a few. One of my favorites is I love Robert De Niro so much. One of my favorite movies of all time is Goodfellas. So Robert De Niro's fire. Michael B. Jordan as well. Michael loves.
That's awesome.
Like me. I love Killmonger and Black Panther, so definitely Michael B. Jordan. Jordan Peele, I feel like he's a creative genius, and he's so I love Key and Peele. Donald Glover. Atlanta's one of my favorite TV shows like ever. So I don't know.
You're naming some really good ones. Those are great.
Yeah, those are a few I'd love to work with. I saw somebody say Kevin Hart. That would be funny too. That'd be dope.
You and Kevin Hart together? That would be some good chemistry.
Tiffany Haddish. I love Haddish too. I feel like that would be a dope just collab. But yeah.
I think so too. We need to make that happen, Kevin.
Yeah.
We're just
gonna cast all these people in one movie, and we're gonna make it happen.
No, that would be a dope movie. Like you and Michael B. Jordan, I think, is a really good pairing. Like you guys could play like brothers or like best friends. I think that's a really good pairing.
See that? I could
see it too.
Man, I might have to give you a writer's credit on that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, yeah. Don't forget about me. Don't forget about the little people. So who is your favorite character on Blackish?
Favorite character on Blackish, aside from Junior?
Yeah, you can't say Junior, obviously.
Okay. Oh man, that's tough. I don't want to offend anybody. I love Jennifer Lewis. So I'm gonna go. She's one of my favorites. I just think she's so funny. It reminds me of so many of my family members. So yeah, Rubeline or kind of hard. Like I love all my castmates. So
I mean, everyone's so funny in their own right. Like they execute their roles brilliantly. So it's really hard to pick.
There's too many talented actors. Just like boom, 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 like one after the other.
I mean,
yeah.
Marseille, she's amazing. Yeah. She's so funny.
Got Miles. Miles is just hilarious. I love Miles. Yara, when she does make appearances now, she's over on Grownish. But when I do on Grownish, amazing actress, so fun to be around. And then Anthony and Tracy, of course, obviously amazing comedic duo. So it's just I can't even pick.
It's a great cast. I mean, you all are amazing.
And then we got a legend. So
yes. Are you guys really close, offset as well? Do you feel like you still have that dynamic, that family dynamic, even when you're not working?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. We're always cracking jokes and just like letting each other have it. And we hang out sometimes. So if you ever watch one of our interviews, like as a entire cast, I recommend everybody go and do that right now. It's the chemistry it's just hilarious. It's too much. We have real family dynamics going on, so it's so much fun.
I think it shows. I think the chemistry definitely shows. You know, just I love the show. It's amazing, and it shows. You guys are a tight knit group.
Yeah.
So, what is the most exciting thing, or just what most excites you about this upcoming season of Blackish?
Ooh, tough question. I honestly I cannot. I think we saw at the end of the last episode of Blackish, Junior has a potential, situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying real spit, but y'all gotta tune in. I cannot spoil anything.
No,
So
we don't want you to spoil
no
it.
spoilers out of me, but let me see what writers do with that. Obviously, have not seen the upcoming storylines.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe something will spin out of that. We got Ruby and Pops are going away to do whatever they do on that. So we're gonna see how that all turns out. There's some pretty exciting stuff coming up next season. I'm hyped.
I'm really hyped. I'm super excited. Like I said,
Yeah.
this is my show, so I'm super excited. But no spoilers. I'm glad you didn't spoil anything for us.
Yeah, sorry guys. I will not. I mean, I know a lot of people want me to spoil, but NDAs and ABC. Let's go.
We aren't getting anybody in trouble tonight.
Yeah.
So, I have a good question. Who has been the most memorable guest star? I know you've had like hundreds, but like who's your favorite? Or who's like the one that sticks out most for you?
I can't say who my favorite is, but I
won't say favorite, but like most memorable.
I will say most man, I really enjoyed Puff Daddy, P Diddy came on Blackish. It was like our first season, so that was a pretty cool moment. Then we had Mary J Blige. We had she's just so talented, absurdly so. She was so sweet, and we had Zendaya was amazing.
Yes, you guys have had so many greats.
and then we had who else? We had Chris Brown, and I always sing that jingle that he sang on the I forget what it was, but it was like Uvu or something like that.
Oh my gosh, yes, I remember.
But yeah, we've had a lot of guests. I'd like honestly, I don't have a favorite. I can't even do it.
Well, I don't want you to give us any spoilers, but can we expect any guest stars in the upcoming season that might surprise us?
Of course. Blackish, we're guest star central, so
yes.
We have some exciting stuff coming up. Expect a lot of romance, a lot of plot twists, a lot of things. Junior's growing up and he's becoming a man, so there's a lot of moments that I feel like a lot of fans are gonna like. So we'll see. We'll stay tuned.
I'm looking forward to it. So can you talk to us a little bit about some of your own projects, any of your own passion projects that you might be working on?
Yeah, of course. Definitely been working on producing and writing and things like that currently, because like what else is there to do during Corona? Trying to make sure to stay productive and to stay pushing things forward. So I've been working on producing a project with Issa Rae that I'm excited for people to see and hear about eventually. And I have another project in which we're adapting a novel that's pretty cool. It's called The Near Witch. But yeah, just stay tuned for whatever else is in store. I've got this little pilot thing that I'm trying to like get up and running. So we've got a lot of like writing and producing and acting coming out for you guys. So stay tuned, I guess. I mean, this is 2020 has not been a great year for anybody. So except for it has been a good year for making change, which I have been happy about. We are all
I was gonna say
pushing that narrative and pushing that that movement, because a lot of people have been thinking it's a moment. It's a movement. So
it's a movement. It's not a moment. I love that. Yeah,
that's been some positive change. But other than that, I haven't really seen anything else positive. So 2020 not been a great year, but next year it's gonna be all of our years. I believe in us, and we got to keep. So
I believe in us too. I mean, 2020 has been a little dark. But I will say it definitely has been an introspective year. I think that we've all had opportunity to reflect. I think a lot of things, have been brought to the light that we just simply cannot ignore anymore. And if it wasn't for COVID, it's happening the way that it did, it's so unfortunate, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for COVID happening the way that it did, we wouldn't be able to kind of get still, sit still, and really pull the wool back and see things the way that they really are. And I think that has been the catalyst for the Black Lives Matter movement, is because we've all been still enough to take a moment to see, you know, what is really happening. So I thank 2020 for that, you know. That's been awesome.
That has been the shining light in all of the darkness. So
absolutely. Marcus, do you have some time to stay with us a little bit longer and maybe answer some questions from the fans?
I'm down. Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. We actually had a few people DM us prior to our chat tonight, so I have a few questions offhand, and then hopefully we can throw some questions at the comments and get some folks from there.
Okay, fine.
All right. So the first question comes from Dot Sketch. Actually, it's dot sketch. How do you personally use your career to make a difference?
I feel like a lot of people in my generation have kind of touched on this, but the fact that we have social media is so present, and it's such a driving force for everything. It's a driving force for change. It can be a driving force for positivity, but it can also be a driving force for negative thoughts and negative ideas. Body image issues and things like that. So making sure to use my my platform to spread messages that I believe in, and trying to push amplify the voices of those who may not have a platform, get behind ideas like that, such as the National Foster Youth Institute or Black Lives Matter and things like that. Has been important to me. So yeah, that's kind of how I've tried to use my platform and what I've been given in this world to make a positive impact. Because I feel like that's what it's all about. Like we all got a limited time here, so might as well go out swinging and do something that we believe in. So
go out swinging, go out making a difference. Exactly. I hope that answered that question for you, Dot Sketch. Lisa Lauder asked, favorite stage play and why?
Favorite stage play? We're talking theater, right?
Yes.
I'm
assuming. I'm just reading the question as she asked.
Okay. It's tough. I really, really enjoyed Hamilton. Was really fun.
Yes.
I loved Wicked when I saw that. Was really dope.
Wicked is so amazing.
Yeah. So those are two that I really, really enjoyed when I saw them. So, yeah.
Do you sing at all?
I do not sing whatsoever. I have no musical talent. I always tell people this. I'm like, don't ask me to sing. I mean, I will like break out a few bars for you, but like, don't ask me. But then I used to play clarinet growing up, so like in elementary school. So I used to be able to tear up on that. Like I would play the Star Wars Empire theme song, but that was when my was orchestra. So that's about it.
Up on the clarinet.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I have another good question. Host K asks, you took a gap year in real life. Are you still on it? And she also asks, will you be doing more Grownish in the future, or would you like your own spinoff?
Yeah, I actually came to the decision to not attend college, which is very unfortunate. I'm like a huge sponsor of education, but I just felt like currently it wasn't the path for me. I major path, and it should be a path for everyone because it's how to be successful in life. It's kind of the blueprint, but sometimes you got to step outside of it if you have things lined up. But yeah, and I do plan on being on more episodes of Grownish. Hopefully, we will see. Depends on what the writers hit me up with.
Yeah,
I have so much fun every time I go over there. I love Schooner is like the best relationship I've ever had. So. Yeah, it's a lot of fun over at Grownish, and we have a really exciting episode coming up. I don't know when it's going to air now because of COVID, and I know everybody's been asking, when is Grownish coming back? But it's hilarious. It was like one of the funniest episodes I've ever filmed. So
oh wow, funniest episode you ever filmed? Like
I was dying laughing like doing it. It was pretty exciting. It's nice because Junior gets to be like a little more mature and a little more grown up over there. So it's pretty funny. You guys have a good episode.
Oh, I am looking forward to that. Grownish is also another good one. You guys did really good on that with that spinoff. Because a lot of times when they do a spinoff, it doesn't really hold its own. It's like, man, why did they even do this? But with Grownish, it's amazing. Like it's just a show of its own.
Yeah, it really, like, what I think it does well is it resonates with another audience. Like, if you do a spinoff and it's trying to, like, tackle the same audience, I don't know if it will be as successful, you know what I mean? And I feel like Grownish does a good job at grabbing, like, the people my age, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, beautiful. I think they did a good job. Good job. Pat our producers on the back.
Good job, producers.
Yeah.
Okay, so God is God and I am not. That's an interesting username there. God is God.
That was part of the question. I was like, I don't know if I'm...
That's an intense. We're starting off pretty intense.
Yeah.
So God is God and I am not asks, navigating comedy with addressing relevant issues is something Blackish does very well. Have you and or other cast members been able to contribute to what's being covered on the show and how it's done?
Yeah, I feel like one of the beautiful things about being on Blackish and the how tight knit our cast is and how tight we are with the writers, and we all came up at the same time. Is that we do have dialogues back and forth about what we see and things that we think are important and how our characters would react to certain situations, whether political or social, and how we would have these conversations and discussions. So multiple ideas have like talked about prior to ever being like filming have made it through, which is like it's kind of cool. And like also at the same time, it's like I don't know how our writers predict the future. I swear, like every time we come out with an episode about like something political, social that's going on in the world, it couldn't be more timely, which I feel like is
telling you.
Yeah, it's the most beautiful thing because then it really allows. I feel like it allows families to have these discussions with their young children or their teens, like might not want to have these discussions all the time. But Blackish gives them kind of an outlet and a forum and a moment to see different perspectives and to see how our family handles things and then come to their own conclusions and really discuss it about. So I really pat our writers on the back, and it's nice that we were able to have open dialogues about these sorts of things. So.
Yeah, your writers are really transparent, and that is so amazing, and I think it's so needed, And I like the fact that the audience, it's not you guys don't just cater to a Black audience. It's called Blackish. You tackle Black issues, but it's not necessarily for Black people, and I think it's important that audiences of all backgrounds sit down and watch an episode of Blackish, because I promise you're going to walk away with a little bit of knowledge, about our culture.
Exactly, because I feel like we make it for Black people to enjoy and to consume, because like this is our life and this is like how we're existing in the world and what's going on in our culture. And it's nice that a lot of other people of different races and creeds and sexual orientations and genders and everything are able to come and sit down and watch the show and really take away what they will from it. So it's kind of, I think we try to educate through comedy. So
yeah, you guys do a fantastic job. Darius Demetrius X asks, what's it like to work on set? What's it like to work on a set like Blackish with so many big personalities? Man,
it's crazy. I mean, I'll tell you. We are constantly roasting each other. There's always some joke being cracked, somebody singing, doing something stupid, or off the banisters. It's a wild experience, but we have so much fun because of it. It makes it. I feel like that's what from day one has made it such a family vibe and a family. Yeah. The fact that we're all just ourselves and we're all crazy and we're kooky and we do whatever on set. We try to get our job done as much as possible. But a lot of goofing off going on.
That's a good question. So have you ever, I'm sorry, let me back up. This question is from Dalkyo85. Let's go with that. I do apologize if I butchered that. But the question is, have you ever experienced racism in the industry, personally or otherwise?
I feel like firsthand, I have not, but there's always those systemic moments that you're aware of where you're being held back by a system that has just like priorly been established, and because it's just so ingrained that it's not even like an apparent like, oh, you're Black, you can't play this role. but that's just something that goes through these casting directors' heads and these producers' heads, and you never even get an opportunity. You might have done just as well as like your white counterpart, but sometimes it's just like, oh, we already have a black guy. We don't
need another.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like I inherently have not experienced it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
But like obviously they're just like any other industry, there are those biases and there are those moments that we're like completely unaware of that kind of hold us back. So
wow, that's a good answer. Thank you for that honesty. We have another question here from Quadri. What new projects are you working on? And I feel like we kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. What new projects are you working on? And has the events of the past 6 months changed the way everything will be for Blackish? Audrey, don't be so sad.
Audrey really hit us with the deep question. Yeah, I think it's kind of difficult because of the fact that, you know, coronavirus. We still haven't heard word from producers or anybody about like when will I'm sorry, I just saw a comment from somebody said, you're a lighter skinned kid, that's why. I'm telling you, there are biases no matter what your skin complexion are. Like obviously I feel like we like should not fight each other on this. Definitely be a unity between everyone under as black people, like we're all in this together.
We sure are.
And completely appreciate that comment, but you know, it's whatever, you have to deal with that sometimes. But yeah. So I'm sorry, can you repeat that question one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. What new well, I think you kind of talked about your new projects that are coming up a bit, but if you want to kind of touch on those again, you can. But essentially the question was, just due to COVID and everything that's happened in the last 6 months, will this change everything for Blackish?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything in the movie industry or in Hollywood, quote unquote, I always put Hollywood in quotes because being from LA, you're like, oh, Hollywood's just like an area. It's not really like, but I guess it's a good way to include the whole industry. Everything is going to change. I mean, we all have to like implement safer ways of getting to set and making sure that we're staying quarantined and for the health of our castmates and for the health of the crew, making sure that we're wearing masks, getting tested, sure like what the procedures are going to be yet. Because we should go back in like August, September, sometime around there. But everything I'm assuming is definitely going to change. So we're going to be like smaller crew sizes. We're going to be separated. We might even wear masks. Like who knows how it's going to go. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there are definitely going to be changes and positive changes, I think, that will be made to keep everyone safe because I feel like it should be the number one priority.
That's an important thing, absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, do you have a few more minutes? I was going to say, let's go to the comments and see what folks are talking about. Marcus, they're showing you so much love. I've kind of been peeping the comments throughout our chat here.
What's
and
up, guys?
You girls are doing the most now. You girls are a little fast now. Just relax.
Thank you guys for pulling through though and just watching us chat. I'm all, like it's so nice. Like it's cool that people like want to be here and just station. It's cool.
Yeah, you definitely have fans and you have tons of support. So I see someone asks, let's see, I'm trying to find a good question for you. I don't really like asking questions when it comes to like romance, you know, and things like that, just because I feel like to me, that's just so personal. Like I don't want to go there. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to ask that one about Chloe or Hallie, but I appreciate you asking. Let's see. Oh, what's your favorite episode of Blackish? That's a good question.
Favorite episode of Blackish? Man, this is it's hard. I always forget the names of the episodes, I'm not gonna lie. So one of my favorite episodes was from like one of our first seasons. I think it was season 1, was the Dozens, when I got to like roast all of my like school bullies and whatnot, and then Dre like teach of like the light side and how I have to not like completely crush people with the dark side of the force.
Yes.
That was one episode of film. And it really, like, every time I think about it, it really takes me back to like when we were first filming Blackish and just like how wet behind the ears I was, like learning everything and meeting everyone. So it's one of my favorite episodes. And I feel like on a deeper note, our police brutality episode really brought into it really brought that topic into family households, and a lot of people sit down and have those discussions about a topic that is just extremely difficult to talk about a lot of times. I'm glad it's being brought to light right now, and we are fighting for our freedom and our right to exist and run down the street, and go for a jog and just be people and live and not fear of authority. So it was nice to film that episode and really get that out there and allow families to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's also one of my favorite episodes.
That was a really good episode, and just like you guys always do, you add that comedic effect to such a serious message just so that we can swallow it, a bit easier. And I think the episode was amazing. It was the perfect conversation starter. That was a really good one. I see you got some more questions rolling in. I saw one up here from.
I see skincare. I will share the skincare.
Drop that skincare routine.
One of the I feel very proud of this because one of the makeup artists on Blackish told me about it, and I was like, come on. And I did it, and I was like, wow, this really changes everything. So if you want to appear like less tired, quote unquote, because I hardly get any sleep. I go to bed at like 3 a.m. But grab an ice cube and like rub it under your eyes. Like I'm not very good at like skincare and whatnot, but like rub it under your eyes and like your forehead and whatnot. It helps to alleviate inflammation. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty tight.
That's a new one for me.
Yeah, and moisturizer, extremely important. Y'all be ashy out there. Gotta stay moisturized. Keep that thing on me. Keep that cocoa butter. Feel me? So.
Show you that Vaseline. Keep that Vaseline on deck. Which moisturizer do you use? Are you a Vaseline guy, or is there a specific brand that you?
Specific brand. Oh, also lots of water.
Of course.
It's. I don't know. I don't really have any specific brands. I kind of like the makeup artists on Blackish kind of just educate me on like everything. I just listen to what they say. So.
They got you covered.
They got me covered.
I saw Hey Sid ask, "What's your favorite hobby?"
My favorite hobby. I like watching anime and playing video games. Huge into cars. Other hobbies. I love basketball. I like eating food. I'm not very good at cooking, but I like eating food. So I guess you'd consider me a foodie.
Okay.
But that's an assortment of hobbies there.
Typical hobbies, but I'm here for it. Normal, realistic, down to earth. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah.
I saw someone ask. Oh, do you have a question?
Favorite anime. My favorite anime currently is Fire Force for new anime. I also love Demon Slayer. But yeah, and my favorite anime of all time is Naruto Shippuden. But yeah.
You're speaking another language. I mean, you know what? I used to be into anime like back in the day. I was into Attack on Titan, and then I stopped like watching it. It was really good.
Yeah, Attack on Titan is great. That's one of I love that. The storyline got very complex, and my small started to melt. But I love Attack on Titan. So
yeah, the storyline did get pretty complex. First season, I was all about it.
Yeah.
The second season, I was like, I can't understand. I know. But yeah, that's a good one. I saw, man, the questions are really just rolling in. Maybe let's take a couple more, and then we'll just wrap it up for the evening. Marcus, you've been so amazing. You've been hanging with us. Thank you.
Yeah, nice to chill. I mean, it's quarantine vibes. You feel me? So.
I saw Nikki Holmes ask, what is your favorite pastime when you are not acting?
Favorite pastime? Like I said earlier, I'm huge into video games. So favorite pastime is playing video games. I want to start streaming on Twitch more. So like, guys, follow me over at Twitch at Marcus Scribner.
There you go.
I definitely need to start streaming more. I give my sister my camera because she has to do like homework with it. But I'm gonna start streaming more. I like playing Apex Legends. Play League of Legends. Kind of stopped. It became an addiction. So I just was like, all right, I gotta cut this off. But yeah, that's kind of like what I like to do. Hanging out with the homies. Driving, going to car meets, things like that. Catch me at car meets if you're ever at a car meet. I'm pretty much at like most of them. So yeah.
All right. Well, I hope that answered that. I saw another good question. It said, and this is from Millie Mall 71. She says, not sure if you already covered this, but the episode on slavery, that was brilliant, very needed, relevant, and only just now being talked about. Great writing and great acting. That was a really great episode.
Our Juneteenth episode. Well, that was one of the, it was kind of cool because after we did the Juneteenth episode, it was nice to be able to see that reflected in real life because after we did Juneteenth, Apple added Juneteenth to the Apple calendar. So we were like, bro, we did. You know what I'm saying? Like, nice to bring. I feel like what is most important is education and awareness for people. Like a lot of people just don't know. And even as like a Black person, it's kind of like I feel like there's a lot of Black people in this country who don't or weren't aware of Juneteenth until recently.
That's true.
Which is nice to be able to bring that part of their culture to them, and it feels like it's been stolen away at this point. But and now we're able to celebrate it and get litty to make sure that that is at the top of our freedom celebration. So that was a really cool episode, and it was nice that we got to sing and dance, which I don't do. But
I mean, you guys did an amazing job. You did.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Somebody asked, did you already talk about the painting behind you? What's the meaning behind it? What did you want to shout out where you actually got it from? And I might have missed that part.
Yeah. I honestly, like, I have no idea where it's from. My dad got it for me, and he was like, it's a print. Bill Gates has it in his house. So if anybody could hit up Bill Gates and let me know if he actually does have it in his house, that would be great. But it's like a burger that was taken in like stop motion, like video photography. So this is like actually real. Like it's not even painted. This is like real meat. I'm a huge fan of burgers, so I thought it would just be a vibe for the room. You know.
That is a whole vibe, Marcus.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna find one more question for you, and if you see one that you want to answer, by all means, jump right in.
Got
so
you.
Let's find one more. So
ordered Domino's delivery over here. I'm trying to get some pizza.
You trying to DoorDash? You trying to DoorDash?
I think it's probably straight from Domino's. Domino's better sponsor me after this one. I'm telling y'all too much.
What's your favorite style pizza? Do you like that pan? Do you like that stuffed crust? I mean, when you do order, what do you go with?
Ooh. Well, one of my favorite things about Domino's is the fact that the garlic crust. Garlic crust is heat. So I always go garlic crust is just that's just it. And I like it's kind of funny because I just learned like 2 years ago about ranch with pizza, and it made pizza like my favorite thing. Just like
oh, ranch with pizza? That is the bomb.
It's so fire. I don't know how I was just hearing about this. Like, what is wrong with me? But also, I decided to add a little hot sauce too, and I was like, bruh.
Ooh, now you're killing the game.
The like thing I've ever discovered in my entire life. But obviously it's been a thing. I've just been late. But man, I don't know. I love jalapenos too. I love spicy stuff. So jalapenos, like sausage, pepperoni, cheese. I want pizza now.
You know what else is really good on pizza?
What?
And I feel like I'm the only weird person in the world who likes this. But like
apple, I gotta take a step back for a minute.
Wait, let me tell you.
Okay.
It's ketchup. Ketchup is so good. Ketchup is so good on pizza. It adds like a whole other dynamic.
Wait, doesn't pizza like already like have some sauce?
Yes, but ketchup is like sweeter, so it adds like this like tangy sweetness to. Just try it. You gotta try it. Don't knock it.
My aunt puts ketchup on her tacos instead of hot sauce, and that just feels wrong to me. But I'm
not mad at that.
God, my dog is coming in. He's excited to see me. Oh boy.
Aww.
Actually, the other one is coming in too. We got both of them coming in.
Aw, what are their names?
That's Zeus and Odin. Zeus is the small one. He's 10 years old. He's a beagle. And then Odin is just turned a year old. He's a Rottweiler, and he's big. He's a big boy.
Yeah. So cute. Do you have any more pets?
I used to have a bird, but she recently passed away, unfortunately. And we have a saltwater fish tank as well. So a lot of pets. I love animals. So,
Oh, that's really
yeah.
cool. You love animals?
Yeah.
What's your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? I don't know. I think one of my favorite animals for sure. I've always been a fan of leopards. I just feel like they're cool because it's like um I don't know. They're like the perfect mix of agility and like power. And I've always thought like things like that are cool. So, I'm a huge nerd, but yeah, it's whatever. I also love the peregrine falcon, which is the fastest like animal on the planet.
Oh,
They can dive at speeds of up to 300 miles per hour, which I always found like super cool. Yeah.
that is pretty cool. I mean, so I know you said you're into, and this is me just thinking randomly. I know, like you said, you consider yourself a comic book nerd and you're into video games. If
Yeah.
you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Okay. All right. This is kind of difficult though because I've always been stuck between three. Because I always thought Static Shock was like the coolest dude ever. I wanted to have electricity power so bad.
Static Shock.
Yeah, it was like one of my favorite things.
That was so good. Yeah.
So
Throwback.
electricity was always like top of the food chain for my favorite power. But I also like telekinesis. I feel like it's just so useful in real life. I love Star Wars and the Force is dope. And then teleportation. So it's a tie between those three.
Ooh, teleportation is good. Telekinesis has always been really good. I think
Yeah.
that's probably what I would choose.
I see invisibility. That is fire. And invisibility is kind of useful as well.
Ability to read minds, yeah, telekinesis. That's fire.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned your rap battle, and they asked if you were nervous
If I was nervous for what?
to film your rap battle. That's what they asked.
Rap battle.
Are you referring to a rap battle in the season or an episode? I'm trying to find the question, but I may have missed it.
I don't even know though.
Are you getting confused with another Marcus person?
Maybe. Miles and Kayla did Wild and Out. I don't know if that was, or maybe I did. Oh, I did. What is the name of? I forget the show, but you know the show where you have to do the dance moves.
Oh, the lip sync.
Lip sync battle.
Yeah.
Lip sync battle. I don't, but yeah, those are the only two like battles I can think of.
Oh, wait, I'm going to have to go back and catch that. You were on an episode of that lip sync battle show?
I was defeated. I did terribly. I told you I was sing or dance, and I was just like so nervous to do it. And it was when I was like a lot younger too, so it was a moment. But and no one watches it actually. So anybody in the chat, don't watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
Don't subject yourself to that.
I will be subjecting myself, and I'm sure many others are going to follow suit. Someone said to scroll back up in the comments because we missed so many great questions. Excuse me, but we have been trying to get to. Just Desserts asks, how do you feel about Tracy Ellis Ross singing debut? How do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel like here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people didn't know that Tracy could sing. Like we over at the Blackish family like knew the whole time that she could sing. Like, oh my God, guys, I can't sing. And then we did the Juneteenth episode, and I was like, hold up. I mean, I'm the daughter of Diana Ross. Like, you can't expect any less, but she's amazing in her own right. So, I thought it was dope, and I loved the film. So, it was a good moment. I'm sorry, my dog is like messing
Big
with
baby.
me. Yeah.
Wanting attention.
Yeah.
Well, Marcus, honestly, we've had a great time with you tonight. I saw someone ask, I'm just going to mention this because I saw someone did ask if you're going to start going live a little bit more often. Apparently, the people love you.
I would, I hope so. I definitely,